And his staff's gone. Even in this. The continuity, they get errors right in both. Generic Control in the Doc Goes to be here, back with another episode of Overanalyzing Avatar. Today we're doing the unaired pilot of Overanalyzing Avatar, which is something I have never seen before. Last week's video was Overanalyzing Avatar, which was a hilarious video. You can check my reaction to that video. I'll leave it right up there. Also, link down below in the description. Also, in a playlist on my channel with all of my other Overanalyzing Avatar reactions, going in chronological order. Also, shout out to the patrons, because they get the videos day early and allow me to have a paywall channel, because I'm here to make you smile, not make you pay. I do read all your comments, whether you're a patron or not, whether you're subscribed or not, but I do read all your comments no matter what. I hope that you are subscribed. I don't know what's going to come next. Some people are saying that his Overanalyzing Korra was full of bad takes. I've never seen Korra. I know basically nothing about Korra, so I know that I just recently found out that it was actually a Avatar sequel. Like, once I started reacting to stuff on YouTube, people were like, have you seen Korra? I was like, no. They're like, it's an Avatar sequel. I'm like, huh? That exists? But this is the unaired pilot. I think I know about this because, like, the whole what is it, where there's a whole bunch of scaffolding and stuff like that was in the pilot. But this is a short video. I thank you so much for being here. I do read all your comments, like I said, so leave some down below. Hope I can make your day just a tiny little bit better. But let's go ahead and jump into the unaired pilot. I have no idea what to expect. I didn't know that there was an unaired pilot. I don't know if anything's going to be blurred. I don't know what this is.
This is the unaired pilot for Avatar. This was the episode the Avatar
like the rough draft
around to television networks until finally Nickelodeon said, "Okay, let's do it." It's basically a 15-minute episode with all the traits.
Who did they
turn up to 11?
try to sell
it to? I figured we could do it overanalyzing on it. It's got some cool trivia. It's a bit shorter than a regular episode, and obviously there's no real continuity, so this might be a shorter video. But I figured it might be fun.
It's to show what they can do.
Water.
Immediately you notice the bending at the start of the opening is done by different people. You got Old Man Jenkins, Toph's original design, a character from Sekiro.
That's Toph's original design?
He actually does his air scooter animation from the real opening here as the airbending demonstration. You get a livelier map in the opening for the pilot. You can see the serpent, a sky bison up here, a penguin, and even one of the singing groundhogs from the library episode.
Oh my god.
Only the Avatar mastered all four.
Which Avatar is that supposed to be?
You'll notice that a lot of things have different designs, like Roku here obviously. Didn't end up looking like this at all.
But when the world needed him most, he disappeared.
Oh, that doesn't sound right. Other than that, the intro speech is pretty much the same as the end product, surprisingly. It drags a little bit with Katara explaining some more here.
The Fire Nation will do anything to capture
Aang
before he masters.
Was there supposed to be a giant wall around
so I must
the
keep
Fire
him
Nation?
safe until he's ready to fulfill his destiny.
I think it's good they managed to edit it down to the iconic version.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's one thing they always did.
Another thing you'll probably notice right away is that Aang isn't voiced by the same voice actor. Here we have Mitchell Musso as Aang instead of Zach Tyler. Sokka, Katara, and Zuko all have their main series voice actors, though.
You idiots!
Oh, really?
We're about to die!
They all have the same voice. That's cool. They just changed Aang's. Which is honestly not that surprising. I mean, look at Hasbro Hotel.
Aang is really childish and whimsical. Sokka is really curt and rude, that kind of thing. This is before they turn Sokka into a more of a comedic character.
And Katara is literally a mom.
Though. So this is a window into what Sokka's character was originally meant to be.
There's a serpent. You already seen the serpent.
They reused this shot, minus Momo, in The King of Omashu. Oh yeah, the serpent is a thing in the pilot too, which seems a little weird since it doesn't show up until the show is half done. But they had the design for this thing all the way back then.
I guess they were just trying to use. They basically were just showing what they can do.
Katara's named Kaya in this, which I'm sure you realize is the name of Katara's mom in the actual run of the show. They had to change it because Nickelodeon thought they might run into some legal troubles with the game Kaya Dark Lineage coming out a couple of years before Avatar.
Never heard it.
Of course, we all remember the instant classic Kaya Dark Lineage. Anyway, they found a way to reuse it as their mom's name later on.
That works,
idea for Katara's name was Kana, which is what they ended up using for Grand's name.
It won't be long before
the Fire Nation sends the whole fleet after your little boyfriend.
Jesus Christ, a bad line read from Jack DeSena? I didn't think it was possible.
I said keep it up.
That works.
Here's another moment they reuse in an episode. This is
the
when
air dryer
dive into a cloud in the Spirit World Part 1 and comes back up soaked.
And he's not my boyfriend.
Oh.
Damn, I can't even get a W in this weird bizarro world. Fuck, man, I feel that.
Here's the secret to bending.
Catching L's left and right.
Energy comes from the earth, through your roots, and into your branches.
My roots?
Use your legs.
That's interesting. Aang kind of generalizes all bending into one mindset here, which is very against what the actual show tried to say. Could be that Aang is still inexperienced here, and that's why. Still an interesting thing for Aang to try and help Katara here, though, considering he was like, nah, that's not how it works back in episode 1. In this, Momo's arms change from white to black from time to time, which is just like the actual show. Such incredible attention to detail. They even got that right.
They get errors right in both.
Or you'll find me eating Momo.
Man, shit, some things never change. Sokka's always food motivated. But
always trying to eat
Momo.
Momo.
Dick in this.
Don't eat the berries.
Berries that cause
Yeah,
blindness.
I wrote.
Another moment they sort of reused in the show. Aang is seen chilling with some birds in the chase briefly.
I'm impressed, Aang. You finished tying your end already? Aang, what have you been doing all this time?
Chilling with the birds.
Aang, my brother's been gone for a long time.
Gone? Dead?
Aang seems to blow into his glider here to open it. Weird. Oh, wait, what
That's
the hell?
actually
Why
kinda
did
cool.
they choose to fly like this instead of on Appa? They only ever
I don't
pulled
know.
this maneuver when they were in a pinch or on a time limit. Seems
Yeah.
to me like they could have just taken Appa, right?
Oh.
Sokka!
Oh, Sokka got taken.
If I'm not back by... Too dangerous. You're way too important.
This is a really weird energy they never used in the show.
No,
The
they
idea
never
that
did.
Aang was too important of an asset to
Never
lose was
protect him.
definitely there in the background. But Katara never sat his ass in the dirt and said, "Nuh-uh, no adventuring."
Yeah,
Doesn't
you're
even
grounded.
Really make sense here since Katara is still clearly a novice waterbender.
Yeah,
and
she's
Aang
not
has
ready.
his tattoos, so he's a master. So he's still the meanest bender they've got. But
yeah,
then
that is
again,
what that
they make
means.
Aang seem a bit of a novice too, with messing up cutting this fruit down earlier. This is
He's
the
been
weird
asleep for
mirror
100
world
years.
of Avatar. The characters are a little off, and so are their motivations.
Yeah,
Feels
dude,
weird
it's
to
so
watch.
weird.
I heard once that when they tested
Oh.
the show on an adult audience, they couldn't figure out that this was the serpent's severed head on a cart. They thought it was some weird dragon car. I don't know how they figured that.
How did they get that
listen
wrong?
here,
Also,
you
who
hear a
built a
rendition
cart
of the
that
Fire
big?
Nation motif that is a lot like the one they used for Zuko entering the Water Tribe village in episode 2.
Huh. Dude, those wheels are gotta be like 15 feet tall.
I got your message.
Then I
There's a hawk.
reattached it to the bird for some reason.
If that's the case, shouldn't I be using my skills to help? Exactly.
Aang, I said it once and I'll say it again. You gotta get that fucking demon mouth under control.
Hey, untie me and fight like a real warrior. I'm
Zuko.
talking to you, Scar Boy.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I don't think anyone ever came at Zuko like that.
No,
in the original
I don't think
show.
that they're
Everyone,
backing
even
up.
His sister and enemies were pretty respectful about the scar, except Zhao, I guess, that one time. Even Sokka described him as having a ponytail when the scar is definitely the more distinctive attribute.
Yeah. Dante Basco, still Zuko.
Oh,
That
wow,
was a
I like
sick
that,
move.
Actually, that was cool.
Is the Avatar with her?
No sign of him, sir.
What are
Search
these?
the island. He's
suits?
probably hiding under a rock.
Even in
That's a
Upside
nice
Down
touch.
World, they still have some of the trademarked Avatar humor. This joke, even though it's executed a little differently, is once again reused in The King of Omashu.
Man,
We just
you'll be going off to combat soon. It's important that you be prepared for anything.
not prepared for that. Yikes. Does he lose his staff in this
Another
though?
idea for a shot reused by the show, this
Yep.
time from the waterbending scroll.
Except this time it's
Oh
on the
my god,
scaffolding.
they're fucking dead.
People in the Avatar world are built different though. Look at Momo actually doing combat, which I think Momo does at one point.
Yeah, originally Zuko was supposed to have a pet hawk that mirrored Momo, but that got cut out somewhere along the line.
I wonder
but it
why.
got referenced in The Runaway when Sokka bought a pet hawk for himself. I pointed out in
I don't
our
know if that's
Return to
really a
Omashu
reference.
video that the idea for the scaffolding fight scene originated here, and it got reused in that episode. These two shots are even the exact same.
What is that
Oh,
kid
except
think
it's-
he's doing?
The way
Azula.
Katara and Sokka talk to and about Aang is weirdly cold and distanced. They were never like this to him at all in the show. Really glad they decided to make it a closer friendship right away, because
I
lines
guess-
like this just give me a really weird feeling. This is a pretty
Yeah,
good shot.
maybe they're
The
trying to make it for
elements aren't
adults.
even that poorly blended. I wish I could find a copy of this in better quality, but there isn't any 1080p HD remaster love for the likes of the Avatar
No.
Unaired pilot. I'll tell you
No,
that
there's
right
not.
now.
Where do you
I
even
really wish they got
find
to
this
fight
at?
more on the scaffolding before it collapsed. I still think that's a really cool idea for an Avatar fight setting, and even the show let me down on that. Oh well, maybe someday.
Well, how would you get that someday? Maybe we get a good
What the fuck
Avatar
are you
video
doing here?
game.
Completely different lighting, Aang.
And his
there
staff's
goes
gone.
the staff. Here we
Even
see
in
Zuko
this.
break up the fire daggers for the third, but technically the first time. I'm pretty sure the plan was to make him use them a lot more, and
They're
this
so
pilot
cool.
helps that theory.
Stupid short firebender ropes and stupid short Aang.
Bit of a reworking on this line too in the episode Nightmares and Daydreams.
Stupid Avatar. Stupid cliff. Stupid dream. I can climb fast. What are you doing?
Are
This
they
isn't
really
time for
references?
practice. I can't believe this. You never listen to me. You're just off
It's
in your
all
little
in the lens.
waterbending world,
She literally
bending
is.
Water in its world like waves.
Did they not know that she's a
What the
waterman?
fuck are you talking about right now?
I don't know. Wait, is she able to do waterbending on stuff she can see? Also, would they not die from that, from
Wait,
the water?
what? Where's the logic in this? They're in a 30-foot hole, Katara violently floods it, and then somehow they're washed up on the surface? Am I crazy, or does this not make any sense
Just
at all?
swim to the top, but that would also kind of crush them.
The animation for the action pieces in this is super fluid. It looks awesome. I wouldn't have minded the actual show looking like this at all. It's great.
Nowhere left.
It is good.
You sure about that?
He can fly. Oh. That's it. That's the end of the Avatar.
The idea that the
he just went in the Avatar state.
Aang can just throw himself into a death scenario to activate is something I'm very happy got left on the
yeah, for
floor.
sure.
I guess that's an element they definitely wanted to fit into the pilot, though, so I get it, kinda.
To show that he has another state that he can go into.
Oh my god, he's dead.
He's not.
Oh my god,
that bird's definitely dead.
They have hollow bones. Oh, rip hockey.
Yeah, it's definitely gone.
Get ready.
Hiya, that's so cursed, dude.
Here's another moment that was reimagined in
people?
the actual show when Sokka bombed the air temple and had to have Aang bail him out. No. It can't be.
It's
so
a full moon,
even
even in this.
Avatar pilot. It's a very, very weird watch. So many
very
ideas
weird.
and shots from the final show
What is that?
together in this. It
oh,
gives
that
a
was
very
that
surreal
attack.
feeling watching it, and it's interesting to see a simpler, less evolved take on all the characters. Sokka's probably the most noticeable with how overly annoyed he is all the time, but Aang takes a close second with the way he acts too. They're like weird body snatched versions. They're just not quite right. It's interesting to see how the show had a bit of a different feeling.
I definitely like
that
the changes they made.
Naturally evolved into the feeling of the first few episodes. That, of course, naturally evolved further into the show that we all love. Without this, we wouldn't have gotten Avatar, so this is an important part of Avatar history.
That's
and
crazy.
I'm happy I got to make a video on it. Before we get into the patron shoutouts, I made this 40-minute long Game of Thrones video on the long night, the third episode of the final season. And I don't know if that video is ever going to make it up on YouTube because of copyright issues, but it's up on Patreon for the $5 tier. So
oh my god, that is insane.
For you. Patron shoutouts.
Those all different things he's trying to
any of my future works, you can support me on Patreon for just a few bucks. Link, as always,
he tried to
in the
test
below
it.
the video. Biggest shoutouts of all to my top patrons: Burb, who had a head transplant at birth to a chimpanzee body, which explains the ape strength. Danger Stranger, who gets away with eating grapes at the grocery store all the time.
So I don't know what to do next.
Daniel Ward,
comics, Korra, I don't know.
Off a kid in 1977. Eric Burney, who is the being that exists in the background of the lucid dreamscape.
What?
Pay attention, you'll notice him next time. Fred Sullivan, who is the reason the Roman Coliseum is all jacked up. Jared Bergman, who was on hire to swim around in your castle mode if you can't afford crocodiles. John, who is a lovely young man. You'd be proud to bring home the mom. Don't look in his basement. Kevin Hall, who can open a beer with any part of his body. Any part. Literal NASA rocket scientist, who likes his pufferfish uncut. That means with the extremely poisonous parts intact. Sean Martin, who flowers mysteriously bloom whenever he walks into a room. Unfortunately, dogs also become frothing rabid monsters, but you take the good with the bad. And Thomas
That's awful. That's not bad. That's awful.
By hooking up his blender to a car battery. Even more huge shoutouts to my other fuck you money patrons: Agent Rhino, Brendan Murphy, Donut, Dylan Calvo, Eli Yakubowitz, Kennedy Stapleton, Nicholas Gillihan, Omega Fighter, Stephanie Riches, Tiago Nascimento, Tony Ponies, Varunda, and Whitrow. And of course,
apparently his Korra, he has a
White,
lot
Alex
less
Fritz, Alan Garvin,
patrons
Ali
now.
QPZM, Andrew Watcher,
But
Austin
was
Allen,
he making like $10,000 a month, which is
Brando
insane.
Espinosa, Buddhist Afta, Cade Stinson, Caleb Fosnock, Canine Corpse, Charles Burnett, Check to You, Christopher D. Sampson the
was it
second,
10,000?
Dan Burton,
I don't know how
David
much he was
Carlisle,
making.
Dizzy Payne, DJ Jack, Dominic Saint, Doran, Distent, Ed Wolf, Emperor Trump,
I get that when I lose one
Ethan
patron.
Standel, Ethan Trump,
He lost
Gennaro,
like
Glintlock,
a
El
lot.
Dorado, It's Carton, Jacob Fries, Jacob White, Jake the Garden Rake, James Oakland,
Jake
James
the
Gil
Garden
Martinez,
Rake.
Jackson, Jay Lambo, John Ajaka, Josie Tiffany, Justin Fletchall, Justin Scott, KT and Dan B, Lady Serena, Lehman Russ, Locked, Lord Wingding, Medium D Speaks, Mayor Timmel, Michael Conrad, Michael Springle, Mike the Magic Man, Mitchell Gobrecht, Nathan L, Nathan Williams
Some people,
Sizemore,
I bet there's some people that have been with him the
Nicholas
entire
Abbott,
time,
Noah
though.
W. Chetlet, Omar, Papa Jaka, Parker Gass, Peter Bayron, Phil, Philip Conti, Purple Danielle, Ranga, Ray, Red, Reese, Rob Lobster 4065, Rocket Mist, Ryan Maxwell, Sophie Kitty, Spory, Stab Dog, Stein One, Super Snipper, The Hardys
What in the
01,
world?
Timothy Bazzelli, Triajuice, Valdemar Holland, Vavina Lockfire, William Willett, Wind Whisper, Wyatt Pence, Yair Geva, Zachoholism, and The Bareface. Next up, well, it's not Game of Thrones, obviously, but it's not Avatar either.
Game of Thrones. That is definitely. How did he ever get that up? I kind of want to check out his channel and see if he ever got Game of Thrones reactions up. There's the comics, I guess. Are these all the comics? I don't know how many. Wow, there's a lot. Holy crap, that's a lot. Oh, he also did the tier list video, which is very long. Did he ever do the Game of Thrones video? Oh no, he's not. He is not. That video is banished to the shadow realm. Kind of makes you wonder how some people have managed to put clips of Game of Thrones up. I don't know how in the world they managed to do that, but you can watch clips of Game of Thrones. There's also channels. There's channels with like hundreds of thousands of subscribers that talk about the lore of Game of Thrones. They probably didn't like the last season. That probably didn't do well for their careers and how the videos were performing, because people don't really care that much about Game of Thrones anymore. House of the Dragon should be coming back next year, which is going to be awesome. But this is the unaired pilot. This might be your first time ever seeing the unaired pilot. Let me know what you think. I do read every single one of your comments. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and hopefully I made it a little better. But until next video, take care and cue the music.
We were